Hello again. What is brown and sticky? Any guesses? A stick. So we're going to begin the during reading activity. In this lesson, you're going to learn various strategies or different strategies to achieve your learning goal, to make your writing flow so it is easier and nicer to read and listen to. So what strategies can you use to do that? Well, you can find them here or in your textbook on page 20. So let's have a look at that. Boom. So to improve fluency, language has rhythm and flow. When we enjoy someone's writing, it is often because we hear the words in our mind as clearly as if someone were speaking to us. Writing that flows is described as fluent. A fluent writer does these things. Okay? For example, a fluent writer uses sentences that are varied in length. So let's have a look back here. Varying sentence lengths is a strategy to make your writing more fluent. Why is it better to use sentences of different lengths? It gets boring when each sentence is the same. It sounds too choppy. There's no flow. For example, close your eyes and listen to this. I have a membership at the video store. The store is just down the street. I rent movies often. I have a problem. I never return the DVDs on time. I don't know why I do this. Open your eyes. Do you see how this paragraph is boring because each sentence is the same? Could you hear how it sounded choppy? Like like this? There's no flow. It doesn't flow smoothly. How could we combine the first two sentences to make one longer sentence? Remember, we're trying to vary the length of our sentences, so make them longer, shorter, medium length. For example, I have a membership at the video store. The store is just down the street. We could do this. I have a membership at the video store down the street. What did I take out? Pause the video and look. You would notice that I took out the period and I took out the store is just. We don't need to say the store again because I already introduced that subject here or that destination here. Okay? You don't need to say store so close together. So just say I have a membership at the video store down the street. The store is down the street. You don't have to repeat the store is. Okay, so this makes the sentence flow smoothly. Do you see that? Also, by taking out the period, you completely take out a full stop in the sentence. So, of course, it's going to flow because there's no stopping. Okay, the next strategy. A fluent writer uses sentences that are varied in structure. For example, a good writer varies the positions of nouns and verbs. So a noun, remember, is a person, a place, or a thing. And verbs are actions. So sometimes you could put the action first, or sometimes you could put the thing first. A fluent writer uses simple, compound, and complex sentences. Do you remember what those are? If not, we're going to review them next. A fluent writer also uses statements. So, I did something. Questions, you know what a question is, and an exclamation is with an exclamation mark at the end, something you're trying to emphasize. So let's go back to the home page and check out this strategy in more detail. Varying sentence structure is another strategy to make your writing more fluent or make it flow nicer. Let's look at examples of types of sentences and what I call the purposes of sentences. These are three types of sentences, and these are their purposes. Okay? The three types of sentences are simple, compound, and complex. We'll look at these in more detail later. Sentence purpose. What is the purpose of a sentence? Well, when you usually end a sentence with a period, you're usually telling somebody something. So the purpose is to inform, for example, or to persuade or to entertain perhaps, but you're just going to tell them something. So I want to tell you something. I went home at 4:30 yesterday is a statement. Your purpose could be to emphasize something, that you're very excited. You want somebody to share in your excitement. For example, you would say, "You should go to Akihabara. It's the most amazing place ever." So you end that with an exclamation. Your purpose was to persuade, but you did so in an exclamatory way by using an exclamation. And then a question. Your purpose could be to ask somebody for information. Your purpose could be to test somebody. For example, what is our learning goal for this unit? Okay, so now let's look at the paragraph on the board again, or basically just this one here, and make some changes. So, I have a membership at the video store. The store is just down the street. I rent movies often. I have a problem. I never return the DVDs on time. I don't know why I do this. We changed the first part to, I have a membership at the video store down the street. Next, let's try to use different kinds of sentences. How can we combine our new first sentence with I rent movies often to make a compound sentence? So, remember, varying sentence structure is one of the strategies to make your writing more fluent. Here we go. I have a membership at the video store down the street, comma, and I rent movies often. So adding a comma, then a word like a connection word like and, creates what's called a compound sentence. Okay? So you take one sentence, put a comma in, put another word in like and, another word would be for, another word would be or, another word would be nor, another word would be or. Okay, and there are others. The fanboys words. So is another one. You create a compound sentence. I have a membership at the video store down the street, comma, and I rent movies often. So we've got two sentences combined here by a comma and a transition word. That's called a compound sentence. This is a simple sentence. I rent movies often. It's just a statement. It's a complete, full sentence. That's why we call those simple sentences. It's got a subject, I, and a verb, rent. And then, of course, you need a noun here. You need something. So, I rent movies often is a simple sentence. I have a membership at the video store down the street is also a simple sentence. It just tells you a fact. But if you combine two simple sentences together with this, you get a compound sentence. To add variety, how could we turn the last sentence into a question? Why do I do this? What's wrong with me? Could be a possible way to add a question into this. Okay? Okay? I don't know why I do this. I have a problem. Why do I do this? Is a possible way you can do that. Okay? Another strategy is a fluent writer varies the beginnings of sentences. Here we go. Do you have any ideas for varying the beginning of the sentences in our paragraph? You could say, unfortunately, I have a problem, or sadly, I have a problem. So here are the revisions. I have a membership at the video store down the street, and I rent movies often. Compound sentence. Unfortunately, I have a problem. Varied sentence beginning. I never return the DVDs on time. Why do I do this? Inserting a question, a different purpose. Okay? So do you see how this paragraph sounds way better than this one? Pause the video if you need to and check them out. The next strategy. A fluent writer makes limited but effective use of transition words or phrases such as, For example, however, and therefore. Let's go back. Transition words. Transition words are those connection words, right? So, for example, what is the purpose of a transition word? Well, to show a link between ideas. Where could we use a transition word or phrase, okay, in the second last sentence of our paragraph? So the second last sentence is this one. I never return the DVDs on time. You could say, specifically, I never return the DVDs on time. So, do you see how it links those two sentences? It explains what the problem is. I have a problem. What is the problem? Specifically, the problem is I never return the DVDs on time. Okay? Another transition word in this paragraph is the word and. That also connects two ideas. All right? So, there are many different transition words. You don't need to use a million of them. Just use them where they would be effective or where it would make sense to use them. For example, however, therefore, and there are so many more. Check the classroom wall. I will help you with that. Okay. Next, read the paragraph at the bottom of page 20 in your textbook. Rewrite the paragraph using the corrections shown in red. Pause the video and do that. Here is page 20. Here is the bottom of page 20. I wanted you to read this black text and then rewrite the whole paragraph, making the changes that this person had been suggested to do during the editing phase. Okay, you can see all those proofreading symbols in there, editing symbols. So, Jake wanted video games for his birthday. Jake wanted video games for his bar mitzvah. Jake wanted video games for his graduation. Jake didn't tell anyone he wanted video games. Jake got socks from his parents. Jake got socks from his grandparents. Jake got socks from his best friend. Thank you very much, said Jake. That is quite choppy. Let me read it again using the editing suggestions that this person has been made for this person. I'm just going to read what you guys rewrote. Okay, so here we go. Jake wanted nothing but video games for his birthday, for his bar mitzvah, and his graduation. Unfortunately, Jake didn't tell anyone what he wanted. So, can you guess what happened? From his parents, his grandparents, and even his best friend, Jake got nothing but socks. Thanks a lot, said Jake. In this particular paragraph, you see many different kinds of sentences. You see complex, compound, and simple sentences. For example, a compound sentence would be this one. From his parents. Okay? From his parents. His grandparents, and even his best friend, Jake got nothing but socks. Okay? The complex sentence is the one that starts with the last part of a sentence. If you say the last part of a sentence first, it doesn't make sense on its own. So, from his parents. From his parents what? From his grandparents. And even his best friend. If you just said that, you'd be like, well, from his parents and his grandparents and his best friend what? It's incomplete. The last part of the sentence says, he got nothing but socks. Oh, I see. So if you said Jake got nothing but socks, that's a simple sentence. Okay? That's the last part of the sentence. It makes sense on its own, but if you say if you say from his parents he got what? He got ... That doesn't make sense. That's what makes a complex sentence. So you have to finish the complex sentence with the simple sentence here. Okay? You can practice learning about simple sentences and complex sentences if you go here. Oops. Okay, watch this video and go down here and then watch this video. Finally, end with these after reading questions. Thank you.